20th year anniversary of Harry Potter, and JK Rowling's not even going to show up. Don't even have a reason yet. Obviously, we know the reason. She made some transphobic remarks. People considered transphobic. And, that's got to be it. When you're not going to... this is what it's come down to nowadays. People are just not saying... They're like, you know what? We don't have to explain ourselves anymore for not allowing someone into our gathering, our little get-together. We don't have to explain it. You know why? Because we are morally just. We're better than you. We understand that we're better than you. And if you don't get it, it doesn't matter. We're going to keep moving. We're bigger than you. Hollywood's amazing. They're so nice. They're just so nice to people with different opinions. It's not even like JK Rowling said anything that was wishing death on these people. No, Allah Akbar. Death to trans. No one ever said that. Just has some views that some people don't agree with. Hollywood is this interesting thing because it's almost like they used to be able to bring in everybody, different opinions, different views, different religions, whatever. They're okay with it. Now, if you have an opposing view, you're the devil. Or Hitler, whichever one they, think is going to, rile up the masses more. It makes you wonder what their family Thanksgiving dinners and Christmas dinners are like. You know what I mean? The way that they act in the public eye is like they cannot be attached or communicate with or interact with anybody with opposing viewpoints on certain, it's usually social topics, right? But do they have that one family member that just doesn't see things eye to eye with them? That'd be hilarious if Emma Watson, Emma Watson had the crazy uncle, super crazy uncle. He's got a bunch of guns. Really cares about protecting his family, Horrible. Just the worst. Who would want to protect their family, That's kind of it's such a scarcity mindset. We don't need that anymore. The world's fine, You don't need to protect yourself with guns, with metal bullets to penetrate somebody's flesh and organs so that they die, That's crazy. So what if somebody comes at you with a knife? That's not that big of a deal, right? You can defend yourself. I would love to see somebody. This is what we need to do. I'm segueing. I'm going to come back, but I'm going to segue to Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen was going back on Twitter with Casey Neistat, the photographer, the vlogger from New York, because Casey was out in L.A. and he got his car broken into, and they stole some stuff that for his daughter's birthday. Seth Rogen jumps on Twitter and starts going back and forth with him hey, man, don't talk shit about LA. It's a great place. I've never identified in my car kind of I think he said something like that, where it's he was saying that Casey was identifying in his car by how outraged he was at getting his car broken into. And Casey's like, dude, they stole stuff. What? I don't understand what you're trying to say. And then Seth's like, well, yeah, I've had my car broken into 15 times or 15 or 18 or sometimes times. And one time, a guy left a cool little knife, so maybe they'll leave you a souvenir. And it's just you know what I want Seth Rogen to do? I want Seth Rogen to dress up in, armored, uniform. And we get some self-defense instructors to have rubber knives. and try to stab him. Because this is training, self-defense training. You train with rubber knives to understand how dangerous knife fighting is. Honestly, not to learn how to defend yourself in a fight with a guy who's got a knife, but to understand how much of a disadvantage you're at when someone comes at you with a knife. You have to get away. It's like 9.99 times out of 10, you're going to get stabbed, cut, penetrated somehow with that knife. And some people are into that. But you do that training to realize that it's so difficult to defend yourself against a guy with a knife. Seth Rogen needs to do that. He needs to get the padding on, or the headgear on, and with the face guard. And somebody needs to. And you know what? It could be a woman. He could have a woman come at him, and it's going to be hard to keep that woman from cutting him. So they put like lipstick, I think, on the end of the knife, so that if it touches you, it shows. And that's just, that shows you that you got cut. You potentially would have gotten cut here. And by the end of these situations, I mean, the guy's covered in lipstick, because you take this person down with a knife, but this person's still got a knife. So as you're on top of that person, they're just kind of slicing you up and down. And it really shows you how horrible a situation would be if you were actually in a knife fight and you didn't have anything. I mean, it's not like you're better off if you have a knife, to be honest. I mean, you're going to get cut. You might cut them, but you're going to get cut. That's why you have a gun. I feel like that should be the most logical, progression in all right, well, I'm not going to win in a knife fight against somebody if I don't have a knife. Potentially might win in a knife fight with someone who has a knife if I have a knife. Definitely going to win if I've got a gun. And maybe don't look at it as winning, right? Maybe just look at it as defending yourself. I'm not going to die, most likely, if I have a gun and I know how to use it and I train with it, right? That's what I want to see Seth Rogen do. You do that, and then you go back and on Twitter and you can make some funny remarks that make no sense and show how disconnected you are from regular life and physical violence. Okay? Because if you ever ask somebody who's been cut with a knife and been shot, which one they would rather have, they'd rather get shot. Dead serious. Ask anybody. I used to train with some Israeli commandos. Ask anybody who's been shot and cut with a knife, and they'll tell you 100% they'd rather be shot than cut. It's a different type of feeling. It's more painful. But he wouldn't know that. Come on, man, Seth Rogen. That dude's super soft. But that's okay. I got room for super soft people in my group. I know I've got super soft friends. Hey, I can talk about super soft people. I got super soft friends, man. I'm not a hater of super soft people. Anyways, back to Harry Potter. So JK Rowling, the creator of Harry Potter, is not even coming to the 20th anniversary. That's what's so messed up. It's like if I was Daniel Radcliffe, I'm not. I wasn't that cute as a kid to become Harry Potter. Maybe it's a little jealousy on my end. I would love to have made all my money by 18 and then just coast for the rest of my life. That would have been nice. I could just have a podcast. People would listen to it. Maybe I'd be a piece of shit. I don't know. But I'd hope that I wouldn't be, and people would want to talk to me. But anyways, that's beside the point. If I was Daniel Radcliffe, if I was Emma Watson, if I was the... hey, babe, who's the redheaded guy in Harry Potter? She can't hear me. But she loves Harry Potter. I can't stand it. I like the books, but movies are okay. If I was one of those three main guys, main actors, and Emma, I wouldn't even show up to this thing if JK Rowling wasn't there. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like that doesn't, you made all your money. You made all your money. You know, like if you really respected the source material and respected the fact that you don't have a career without JK Rowling, right? It's not like you did a bunch of other writers' movies, right? Like you did, how was it, seven films, I think? You did 7 different movies, and that's what made your career, and they were all written by different writers, okay? And then you had some type of, HBO special, which is what it is. I think it's HBO special, and they just talk about your career. It wouldn't really make sense to have everybody come in. It'd be kind of cool, it'd be great, but like it wouldn't be necessary. With this, your whole career is based off these 7 films, based on books that every kid read pretty much, and sold out, out the yin yang, and you don't have the writer show up. Like that's so disrespectful, But that's Hollywood. It's disrespectful. Man, I don't care. I don't care what she says about anything. If I was one of those actors in those movies, I would respectfully disagree if I did disagree, but I would still thank her and want to sit down and talk with her about the whole process of writing those books, adapting them to films, being a part of the, I don't know if she was a part of the casting process, but I'm assuming that she might have been. She even changed characters like based on the films and changed them in the book, I think. Like, what was that, Longfellow or Longbottom? He was a chubbier child actor, right? And that's why they got him, because that's how she wrote him. I think this is right. All you fan people will tell me if I'm wrong. That's how they wrote it. But what happened was he actually got super tall, leaned out. And so she shows up on set, I think, and sees him, and she's like, what? And then the next book she writes, she changes his character. Like physically makes references to how he physically changed and he got taller or whatever. That's pretty cool. I could be totally wrong on this, but I think that's what happened, because I've got a super fan, my girlfriend, who I think she told me this. Anyways, it's pretty amazing. And she created careers for people. Like, come on, man. I don't care. I don't care what someone believes. I'm gonna sit down and talk with them, especially if they've done stuff for me. Like, what do you do to your parents? Like, that's what I really want to know, because I know for a fact that no one has the exact same views on everything that their parents have. Like, I don't know anybody. I really don't. I really don't know anybody who's my age, 30, in their 30s, who also agrees on 100% of what their parents agree on. So how do you have Thanksgiving dinner? How do you have Christmas dinner with these people? You just tell them, shut up. Don't show up to your house for Thanksgiving. Everybody else is going to come, but you just go on a bike ride or something. It's like, come on, man. That's weak, man. That's super weak. That's weak intellectually. It's very weak for you not to be able to sit down, calm down your emotions, and talk to someone who doesn't agree with you. I used to be like that, for sure. But I realized that was weak, and I needed to change. I don't want to portray weakness, and I don't want to allow that type of weakness to infiltrate other aspects of my life. Right? It's like when you're training as an athlete. I'm a trainer. Used to be a wrestler when I was in high school and college. Have done mixed martial arts post college. and I train people in that. When you approach your sport as an athlete, you will have strengths and you'll have weaknesses. If you're smart, you'll make sure that those weaknesses don't infiltrate your game, right? Don't negate the positives. You have to. You have fighters, you have wrestlers, whatever, who are very strong, very quick, but their cardio is very suspect. And they spend their entire careers never really getting control over their cardio. And then they never reach the potential of what they could have reached, right? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So in life, there are ways to interact with people that will bite you in the ass the older you get and make you unable to converse and communicate and commune with, form relationship with people who have different opinions than you, but that have the same intention. See, that's the problem. Just because you and I disagree on something, right, doesn't mean that we have different intentions, right? You've got good intentions. You just think something differently. I've got good intentions. I just think something differently. We need to focus on what our intentions are. Then we'll have a better conversation. That's it. You just learned something today, baby.